it's Rox coming to you today with a review for Pose Season 2, the finale, which would be episode 10. So you guys are down low again today, but I did come up with a solution where you guys will be up higher. I just forgot the solution at home today. So tomorrow you guys will be back up a little bit higher. I think it's kind of awkward for me to keep looking down at you guys like that. Anyway, you guys, the review, let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, the show opens with Blanca doing one of her clients' nails. She's in her apartment, so it's obvious she did not get her salon back. She's working out of her home. And from the looks of Blanca, she ain't doing too well. She's nursing a cough, and the cough doesn't sound good. She sounds a little bit hoarse, and she's lost a little bit of her color. She looks sallow. I was like, oh, Lord. I know we're not fixing to go through Blanca dying on this show. You just cannot do this to me. Okay, so when her client leaves and then she gets another client, it's Pray Tell. He looks a little unsure. And she was like, I don't think I have an appointment for you. He said, I heard you do walk-ins. And, of course, she jumps up and rushes into his arms, and they missed each other. Turns out it's been almost 9 months since they've talked. Okay, so we fast-forwarded in time. It's May of 1991, I think is what it said. And, yeah, they haven't seen each other. Catching up on what's been going on. Blanca hasn't really been at the balls. You know, she just doesn't feel like that's her thing right now. Her kids are gone. Damon's in Paris. Angel and Poppy are the new Lucy and Ricky in their apartments. You know, she's just there on her own. As far as Pray Tell, you still seeing Ricky? Yep, still seeing Ricky. And, yeah, the sex is wonderful. He don't live with them, no, but, you know, he has his own key, and he kind of comes and goes as he wants. It looks like they've worked out something that's going to work between the two of them. But as far as Blanca's concerned, you know, she needs to come back to the balls because it'll remind her of who she is, and she was just like, kind of don't see it that way, okay? Feels like it'll have the opposite effect. But this cough is nasty. And he was like, when's the last time you went to the doctor? Well, next scene we see she is actually in the hospital, checked in the bed, full oxygen, hooked up to the monitors and everything. Okay, so Blanca's not doing well. And she's going through her wheel with Pray Tell. I'm just like, not the wheel. Whatever her little meager things that she has, she wants to make sure nobody fights over. So Damon gets her mom's cookbooks, and Lulu gets her nail salon supplies, and Pray Tell gets her boombox and her music, and Electra gets an old shake and go wig that she had on when she met her. Angel gets her clothes, her jewelry. So, you know, she's diced it out for everybody. Poppy gets access to her journals, okay, so that he can write about her life's work and, you know, maybe put a book out about her or something that will, you know, make sure that people don't forget about her. It looks like Blanca is tired of fighting. Pray Tell wants her to fight, but she says, you know what, maybe it's time for her to find some peace. She's been fighting her whole life, and look at where it's gotten her. Since she doesn't have it in her to fight, then Pray Tell says he gonna call the family, you know, the friends and family down there to sit with her the whole time that she's in the hospital. They gonna fight for her. So next we see the family is there, Electra, Lulu, Angel, okay? And it's kind of clear that none of them really have been around each other in a while, okay? Electra had on a badass suit. I said Electra. Girl! Oh, I tell you, that Electra was sharp as hell in that hospital, okay? She complaining about the lighting, all right? Fluorescent lights are so harsh, makes you look even sicker. I almost wonder if the hospitals put that lighting in there just so you could look more ill. I guess it's brighter. But, you know, they're just catching up. Angel hasn't really been working. I said, oh, this isn't good. Okay. I know you guys were probably thinking the same thing I was thinking. Was that I thought the thing wasn't recording. I was about to get mad. I was thinking that the photographer had outed her. But, yeah, she said she hasn't been working much, but thank goodness she's been, she saved some money. Poppy told her to get a savings account, and they've been kind of floating by on that. Okay, and speaking of Poppy, Poppy and Pray Tell walk in the room, and not only have they not all been around each other, but they haven't really even been at the balls. You know, Pray Tell was just like, where y'all been? Well, what the hell, they want to go walk at the damn balls for some old, bitchy butch queens is what Electra called them, okay, talking about the council. You know, pretty much the whole ballroom, the club is run by men. Okay, they sit up there high on their pedestal and they judge down on the women, not having any idea what they all go through to even make themselves, you know, entertaining and presentable for these balls. You know, she just tired of it. All right, even when the Vogue sensation was going on, Angel said, okay, it was all the men who got all the credit, you know, and all the love when they would perform, when the women was doing just as much, if not more. They created the scene, they get no credit. So, you know what, y'all can have it. Electra tells him that he needs to talk to the council about it, because until then, you know, the women ain't really trying to come back and support. So, pray tell, you know, in one of his meetings with the council, it's better times for the council too. Okay, they done got $5,000 in savings. They out of the red. The club is in the clear. Everything is going good, except pray tell tells them that the women are not happy with how the club is being run. Why the men are winning everything. The men are taking over the balls, are walking in every competition. They was like, well, that's not our fault. Well, you know, what we supposed to do about that? Okay. Well, pray tell says they do have a point. It is hard to be judged, okay, especially by people who have no idea what you even go through. So, you know, maybe there is something that we can do. So one of them comes up with an idea that maybe they should dress in drag and perform in one of the competitions. At first, they kind of scoff at the idea, but as they think about it, you know, they start to come around, and Pray Tell's like, I don't know if this is the answer. Okay, putting on a wig, and you know, he kind of feels like that's kind of just superficial, and it's almost even demeaning towards the women who really do this all the time. But they're like, no. It'll show sympathy. It'll show what is the word? Not inclusivity. It'll show, did I write it down? It'll show solidarity, okay, with both sides understanding what the other one does. But Pray Tell's still not really feeling it. But they was like, pass the motion, bitch, you know. Pass the motion, bitch. Hey, pass the motion, bitch. Okay, and Pray Tell was like, motion passed. But you can tell he ain't really feeling it. Now, the situation with Angel, she finally goes down to Miss Ford's agency and confronts her. And just like we had already suspected, she has been clocked. Okay, everybody knows her tea. Evidently, a stylist on one of her jobs recognized her, told on her, and now all the companies that had hired her are pulling their contracts. They're accusing Miss Ford of misrepresentation, and they are accusing Angel of being a fraud. You know, Angel is crying like, you know, do you think I'm a fraud? And Miss Ford says, absolutely not. You came to me, you know, as you were. I don't think Miss Ford cares at all, but she says, you know, the world is not ready for you right now. And it was a sad thing to say. I'm sure it was hurtful, but at 1991, yeah, they definitely were not ready. I mean, they are barely ready for them right now. Transgenders are forcing themselves into society and making society accept them, but they still have a very, very difficult, you know, path. Even though we see a couple of them on TV and a couple of them as models and things like that, they still have a very long road to go. So the world wasn't ready then. The world is barely ready now. I felt so bad for Angel, but we knew it was coming. So she goes back home, and when Poppy gets home, look like from a hard day's work, he got his business shirt on and tie. You know, she tells him what happened. And she basically feels like she's finished. But you guys know Poppy is not going to let her think that way, okay? He tells her, you finished. You're 24 years old. You still have at least 10 years left, you know, in the game. And she was like, are you listening to me? Okay. Do you not see that I'm a transsexual? No, I'm not supposed to be a successful model for a year, okay? I'm supposed to be lurking in the corner somewhere, and people calling me a freak. All right, so she's got all of the self-doubt in the world, but honey, Poppy is gonna be there to lift this girl up. Okay, basically, if you can't do it on your own, I'm gonna be the one to hold you up. So he is her support system. I don't know where Angel would be without Poppy. Poppy has more hope for Angel than Blanca has for all of her kids. Okay, that's how much that Poppy loves his Angel. Now back at the hospital, Blanca is talking to Judy. Okay, Judy, be straight with me. How much time do I have left? And Judy says, it's really hard to tell because AIDS is very unpredictable. However, you also need to be aware of your surroundings, your health, how much you eat and things like that, okay? One of the problems might be the nail salon chemicals. It might be time to give that up. And you should be okay with that. You qualify for disability. Blanca's like, fuck disability? I'm 30 years old. You mean to tell me that I got to go and get on disability? She starts to feel sorry for herself again. Like, I have been good to everybody. I've done so much for everybody. I tried to be a good person, in hopes that it would spare me. But look at where I am. Judy tells her that her body is the one that's taking over right now. You can't tell your body what to do. You got to listen to what your body says. And Blanca was like, well, maybe my body is just telling me to, give it up. So she doesn't have much hope with everything that's going on. Now, back to Poppy. Angel's at the house. You can tell she just chilling, okay, on the couch watching TV. Poppy comes home and he tells her he got a good idea. Okay, shows her a business card that he had made. He gonna be her talent manager. She was like, you got me a job yet? And he said, no, I don't. But I got a Rolodex full of all of the people that you worked with in the past. And I got contacts and I'm going to make this happen. So she was just like, that ain't really going to change nothing. You basically spinning your wheels. But he was like, you ain't got to believe me. Okay, but I'm going to represent you and I'm going to represent women like you. And we going to, shake this whole thing up, basically. She was just like, whatever, they don't want to see us, so don't even bother. But yeah, Poppy, once he got that idea in his head, he's a hustler, he gonna make it happen. So next thing we see him out on the piers, he trying to recruit, he's going and talking to the girls, finding out if anybody out there was interested in modeling and all of that. He needs Electra's help though, so he does go to Electra and ask her. She was just like, baby, you are ambitious, and I will give you that. Okay, but you trying to get these girls modeling jobs is about the same as you trying to train them to become astronauts. Okay, maybe you need to scale it down a little bit because this ain't really gonna happen for you, and nobody else believes in Poppy either. Okay. But back at the hospital, you guys, here's some good news for Blanca. Looks like Frederica Norman, her old landlord, has been arrested, okay, for arson, burning down the building and Blanca's nail salon at the same time. Evidently somebody saw her leaving the scene of the crime. So they have arrested her, and we see a scene when she's in jail and she's talking to her lawyer. Her lawyer's like, yeah, they're not going to give you bail because you're a flight risk. And she goes on to say that she's in jail because the men out there are not ready for her. They are trying to silence her. They expect women to just be home and be quiet and wait on their men. And, somebody powerful like her, they're trying to take everything away from her. She basically don't regret nothing other than squashing another woman's dreams, talking about Blanca. And she says she'll gladly pay for, time for that. But other than that, she don't give a damn. She ain't did nothing wrong. She not going to be sorry for being ambitious and having dreams and wanting to make it work. So, oh the fuck well. Okay, I was like, well, yeah, that and the fact that you burned down the building, Frederica. Ran up the insurance fraud, all of that. Okay. So bad news for sis girl. She going to be in jail for a minute. Blanca was like, well, honey, that alone lets her know that her work is done there. Okay, Pray Tell won't let her talk like that though. Come on, let's get up, let's walk around the hospital. She said if she takes even a couple of steps, she's gonna be right back in her bed. And he was like, no, that's okay though, we're gonna get the heart rate going. So he's trying to motivate her to get up and go. And Blanca is looking better. She is looking better, not 100%, but definitely like not how she was at the beginning of the show. He tells her that he wants her to walk at the mother's ball, and Blanca's mind is so far away from that, she ain't dealing with. Do you not remember that I don't have a house anymore? And he says, listen, once a mother, always a mother. So you get yourself together so you could be at this ball. He got a surprise for her. She's like, what you cooking up? He said, don't you worry about it. But remember this council idea that they had where they're going to dress and drag, right? Okay, so they got Electra. Electra is there, and she is going to train them into being able to be convincible drag queens, on the ballroom floor. So she got all the council there, Pray Tell, and some of the guys also from her house. And, You know, they in their heels, they can barely walk. You know, look at your knock knees, and you know, stop looking so constipated, and you know, pull your shoulders back, and all of this. These men, they don't walk in heels, you know, with the exception of the two from her own home, her own house. But other than that, they don't know how to do it. So, you know, it's comical watching her. She's just talking about them so bad. When Pray Tell gets out there, Pray Tell is doing like a little inch, one step, you know. And of course, this is Electra's get back time, just really twisting a knife and Pray Tell. Oh, weren't you the one that would complain about the girls if they wore anything less than 4 inches? Okay, you can get it together. And Pray Tell was like, you know what, I ain't got time for this shit. He takes his shoes off and he leaves out. Oh, Pray Tell, you can't hang under the pressure. So he goes outside and he's sitting on the stairs, and out comes Ricky. Ricky tells him, you know, for everybody that you always preaching to and telling them they need to be themselves and all that, you need to learn how to accept your feminine side. And Pray Tell goes on to tell him the reason why he's the way that he is his father, you know, when he was little, you know, basically was going to beat the man into him, said that he was a sissy and, you know, always treated him so bad. And so that has caused him to really just push anything that might be feminine within him away. He just ain't really trying to dress up as no woman. But Ricky tells him it's okay. Okay, you need to learn how to accept all of you, embrace all of you. Pray Tell agrees with them. I guess he ain't the only wise one there. I said, child, they gonna make us like Pray Tell and Ricky. Something tells me that they not gonna, that relationship will have withered away by next season. But I was just like, oh, well, maybe, you know, Pray Tell was what Ricky needed. Okay, at least maybe it's easier for me to think about it now that Damon ain't around. Poppy and Angel go and talk to Miss Ford about their new idea, okay, fidelity management. Well, he thought about fidelity, but, you know, he don't want to worry about copyright issues right now. So, but yeah, he's planning on managing Angel. And, you know, Miss Ford already told him the world is not ready, and Miss Ford ain't really trying to get caught up in all of that right now either. She has a business to protect. So what exactly do you guys want me to do? Well, let me work under you. Okay, basically let Poppy get a little office up in there, and you know, you just kind of be the one to kind of oversee and overlook what he's doing. She was like, well, how about we do this? If you can book something in the next 2 weeks, then we'll talk about having some sort of partnership with Esteban Martinez Talent. Okay, and they fine with that. They excited. They happy. Poppy, that's all Poppy needs is his foot in the door. That's all he needs, and he got it from there. Okay. Back at the hospital, it's time for Blanca to get out of the hospital. She's doing much better, and Damon has rushed there to his side. He said he came as soon as he found out. She's so happy to see him. He's telling her all about the good news in Paris. You know, he's still working for, what was the guy's name? Can't think of the name right now, but he's still working for him, and he wants to hire him as a choreographer for his next tour. Okay, and guess what? Not only is he out there choreographing things, but child, Damon is a damn house father out there in Paris. He done took House of Evangelista over there. And he got kids over there himself that he's telling what to do and, you know, training them up as they should go. I said, child, Damon is all of 20. But I guess age doesn't matter. Okay, it's all about making sure that you take care of your community. So, you know, Blanca's proud of him. You know, that's exactly what she raised him to do. And, you know, he's out there doing the damn thing. So good. How long can she expect him to be there? He said he'll be there at least until the Mother's Day balls. And now, happy Mother's Day, bitches. We at the ball. And I looked at the time and I was like, damn, they got 45 minutes left. I was like, is it going to be 45 minutes of ball? It basically was 45 minutes of ball. We have all these different categories that the women are walking. First category is runway. Of course, the girls are fierce. They got this new girl named Jasmine. Where did she come from? Beautiful girl. She was so pretty. And I don't remember seeing her the whole season. But she ended up winning one of the prizes, and she's from House of Wintour. Why did did we ever see this girl before? Then the next category was realness. And this category is, who's the most convincing, who is definitely going to pass, even if you are right up on them, okay? So we got Lulu and Kiki and Electra, okay? And they're up there with the judges. I mean, basically on the judges, for the judges to feel their skin and how supple they are, and look at their hair and look at their body and feel on it, whatever they got to do. We already know who gonna win this, honey. That Electra had on a dress that was so fucking bad. I was just like, they pulled out all the stops for Electra this time. Oh my God, the way the gold came and swirled and swiveled across. I said, James, are you watching this? I know he was loving it. She was so fucking bad the whole time. I just was like, yes, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So anyway, Electra wins that hands down, all 10s, okay? And then we get to Mother of the Year. So the people that was in it, we got Kiki Pendarvis from the House of Pendarvis. We had House of Ferocity, Lulu Ferocity. We had House of Wintour, okay, Electra Wintour. And I'm thinking to myself, like, well, who they gonna give this to? I mean, it was obvious who they was giving it to. It was gonna be Electra, but I was just like, Mother of the Year? Okay, I mean, we didn't came around. Electra has come a long way since last season, or even the beginning of this season, I will say that. But I don't know about Mother of the Year, but we don't know too much about Pendarvis. And Lulu, yeah, I just was like, okay. So yeah, Electra unanimously wins Mother of the Year. Okay. Now backstage, Angel is talking to Poppy. Poppy comes and tells her he got good news. Now he got all of the jobs that, Miss Ford's agency was too good for. He got the list from her, and he went through them, and he contacted these different people, and he done scraped up and scrounged up a job for Angel. What? Yes, it's for some German cola, and they actually have to go to Berlin the next morning. They go in first class. All right, so she's excited, but she's also worried, like, what if they find out? Well, Poppy said, listen, his agency is all disclosure. Okay, he done told everybody what it is. We're gonna let the chips fall where they may. And the company liked the idea. They said that it made her edgy. Now she's just so happy, and she believes so much in Poppy, and she just pours out her heart about how much she loves him and how much he's been there for her. And even when she doubted herself, I mean, it was real corny and sappy, but it was also one of those things that I was just like, oh. Poppy even cries saying how much he's gonna be there for her, and child, it was so much sap, but cute enough. She gets down on her knees as if she's going to ask him to marry her, and then he gets down on his knees with her, and they decide to say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Will you marry me? Okay, yes. So these two are about to get married. You couldn't get married legally as a gay couple back then, but we know that there are many gay couples who had their own ceremonies back then. So I guess that's what Poppy and Angel are about to do. But yeah, you guys, good times, good things in place for Angel and Poppy. We also see Ricky. He walks up and sees Damon, backstage, and it was like seeing an old friend. All right. Oh, look at the superstar out there in Paris and London and Amsterdam doing the damn thing. Ricky ain't doing too bad either. Ricky's about to dance for Paula Abdul, and Damon was like, well, look at us. Okay. It's good to see that them two were able to actually talk and be friends, not be mad at each other still. Damon actually said that Ricky forced him to grow up and kind of just realize a whole lot of things. Oh, and Damon is negative. He did test when he was in Paris. So Ricky's glad about that, because he was worried, but he just had no way of checking either way it goes. Damon says, don't you worry about it, okay? You still seeing the old man? Yep, they still together, and looked like Pray Tell even got him wearing eye cream, okay? Then turned him into something else, and I was just like, oh, look at Pray Tell and Damon. I bet you Ricky, I bet you they just the cutest little thing. I refuse, though, you guys. I refuse to come around. But Ricky seems to be a whole lot more settled and more grown up, and Damon obviously has grown up quite a bit and is doing well. So I was just like, oh, that was a happy ending too, you guys. But you guys, the Candy Sweet refrain is about to start, so Damon has to hurry up and go out there. Okay, so in this night, this is the first time that they're actually going to offer money for the competition. All right, so they're going to have the people, perform, and then he gets a little note that somebody needs to go at the front of the line. We already know it's Blanca, because Blanca's been sickly, and, let's just kind of let her go first so she can be done. That Blanca get out there and she sings the Star Spangled Banner, Whitney Houston, that she sang at the Super Bowl. And can you not be inspired when you listen to Whitney Houston? That song still gives me chills when I hear it. Okay, how many years ago was that she did that? It's still hands down the best Super Bowl performance that was ever recorded, done out there. So of course, when Blanca does it with the situation at hand, it was very inspiring. And then she pulls off her, her little matronly looking outfit. And then underneath, she's got on this red tight dress, and she stands up and, she finishes it off. And I was just like, yes. And, hands down, she wins again. We don't even let nobody else perform. That's how great she was. But wait a minute, it's not over. Because remember, the council, the men, they're going to be walking in drag, right? So Elektra gets up there on the microphone, and she is announcing the men. So first we have Ricky, who comes out as Janet Jackson, okay? And he does well in his heels, and he does his little dance and things, whatnot, the 10, 8, 6, 9, 8, And then the next we got the three on the council. They the dream girls, and they didn't do too bad, but it was cute enough. You could tell that they was really making sure that they put themselves out there. Elektra was talking bad about everybody, putting them through the same scrutiny that they put everybody else through, in they little blue dresses and they wigs and all of that. And then we had another girl. Who was she? I never could figure out who that other one was supposed to be. Cubby Wintour. Who was she supposed to be? I don't know who she was. Elektra said she was the fairest of them all. And then we had Lamar. He came out as Vanity, okay, from Vanity 6. And of course, he also knows how to dance and heels and all of that. So Elektra loves him, and he gets 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10s. And then after him, we got Pray Tell. And Pray Tell is, all Diana Rossed out, with the big, full, curly, brushed out hair, and her feathers. And the feathers were like a blue going to the green, and it was beautiful, and it was big. It was so much drama, had so much flow. And then, he had on a sequin dress. And he walks out, and of course he's timid. And Elektra's teasing him and telling him to come on out, and smile and giving him the blues like he would give anybody else. And finally, he starts to catch his stride, and you can tell he starts to feel it. And next thing you know, he out there twirling like Diana Ross, too. I said, okay, Pray Tell. Okay, when it comes to judging, it's 10, 10, 10, 10, 9. Okay? What? Kiki from Pendarvis? Yeah, she gave up a 9. She was like, payback is a bitch. She was like, you ain't winning shit around here tonight. The guy Lamar, Vanity, he was the one who won. And now it was a successful Mother's Day ball. Okay, so afterwards, and everybody's going home. Angela and Poppy has invited Blanca to dinner with them. I'm sorry, breakfast. Now it's the next morning. It's breakfast, and she says no, she's not going to go with them because she's waiting for Pray Tell. So when they walk off, she sees a couple of kids over there. They're kind of looking by themselves. It reminded me definitely of the kids that were in Paris is Burning. she calls them over. She was like, hey, you guys come over here. You know, how old are you? 14 years old. Okay, you know, what's your story? Well, they ran away from Denver because their families had then kicked them out, so they just been hanging out at the piers. And she was like, well, you guys been stealing? At first, they don't want to say anything. She was like, it's okay, you can tell me. You know, it's no shame in trying to survive. So, yeah, they've been stealing just so that they can eat and all that. So she was like, you guys are hungry? And, yeah, they hungry, okay? So, it looks like Blanca has found her some new kids, okay? When Pray Tell comes out and he shakes their hand and, you know, asks them if they hungry. Are we taking them home? Yep, we taking them home, okay? And just like that, House of Evangelista is back. Now, listen, I was looking at that and I was like, wow, I am really clueless to how this thing goes down. I mean, I had no idea that people were just picking up folks off of the street, even at that young of an age, and taking care of them. I mean, I can think logically, I should say, in my mind, how you definitely couldn't do that today. I mean, with these kids don't go to school, like, you know, it's all the social workers and all these people that, I mean, are these just like the forgotten kids that nobody was even checking for that was doing things like, I mean, obviously so. They didn't have the same checks and balances back then that they do now. Like, I'm just wondering how that works. You know, many of you guys who have been in this scene are very aware of it. Y'all put me up on game how that works, because I was like 14 years old. 14 years old and a grown person taking somebody in like that. You know, I was just like, this is crazy. But yet again, I've learned a lot from this show. Many things that I had no idea that was going on. So it was a good episode. I like the way the season closed out. I'm glad that we didn't have to see Blanca die. I don't think that Blanca is going to die. That would be too devastating for the viewer. But, you know, just a little scare. We can take a scare. We can't take a killing, though. How'd you guys think about the last episode? You guys let me know. All right, rock stars, that is it. Let me get off of here. About to give me something to eat and take it on back to work. You guys make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.